Lesser Lord Kusanali is definitely a greater lord when it comes to her presence in the meta. Probably one of the top 3 5-stars you could pull meta wise right now in Genshin, and I would definitely recommend her to you as she is truly the grass god we needed. Not only is she one of the best written Genshin characters, literally blew me away with how they portrayed her, she is paired with one of the best kits in the entire game. If you're on the fence about pulling Nahida, I will be the one to push you off of it, because not only will it benefit your account, but I also think it would be really funny to see people fall onto some grass that they haven't touched in a few months. Whilst playing Nahida, you don't need to be touching your enemies to tag them with your elemental skill, as Nahida is an excellent photographer and can capture hilichurls in 4K, having picnics at extremely large distances in a 360 swing, as I like to do. This part of her kit feels so fluid, I really love it, and it adds a tri-karma purification seed to enemies, which triggers every 2.5 seconds when you do a Dendro reaction, which will apply Dendro again to them off the field as well, allowing you to have the best Dendro application in the game for a whole 25 seconds, which is crazy long and crazy effective. And if you thought that is good, wait until you notice the skill has a 6 seconds cooldown, and sack frags is one of Nahida's best weapons, so you can do 2 E's. And if you still aren't satisfied with that amount of Dendro because you're an ungrateful spoilt brat, then you can also use her as an on-field driver, as all her attacks are Dendro due to the nature of her being a catalyst. And it doesn't stop there. Nahida's burst is amazing, just like everyone who drops a like and subscribes to the channel. Thank you so much, I appreciate you guys a ton. Anyway, back to her burst. Nahida's burst creates a field almost as big as a whole spiral abyss floor. This burst costs 60 energy, lasts for 15 seconds at base, and has 13.5 seconds of a cooldown. So once again, Nahida is just blessed with 0 downtime on her abilities. Her burst doesn't do any damage, however it will give the active character bonus EM based on the character with the highest EM in the party, being able to transfer up to 250 elemental mastery, which as we know is great to increase your Dendro reaction damage. The other plus is that Nahida's burst grants herself bonuses depending on the elements in your party. There's also no limit on how much of these bonuses you can get. Pyro gives Nahida's E skill a damage bonus, Hydro extends her burst duration, and Electro increases the trigger interval of her E, all of which values increase with talent level and end up with the values shown on screen. This makes Nahida a great Dendro support, but don't make her supporting capabilities for you, because she also has a passive that increases her crit rate and damage bonus based on her EM, meaning at 1000 EM you can get a free 24 crit rate on her E and up to 80% damage bonus, which means you don't need a crit rate circlet as long as you have enough EM to make up for it, and you can have a good hybrid build with Nahida. For instance, my Nahida is full EM with a sack frags, and she is doing minimum 20k damage ease with a talent at level 8. Somehow after all this talking, I'm still not done complimenting Nahida. Her 4-star options are very good, with me personally recommending sack frags or the Widsith. Sack frags for the extra EM if you really want to maximize her EM buff to her allies. I prefer this personally as she gives me more EM, and I really like to run Nilu Bloom. Then the Widsith to bump up Nahida's own damage significantly and also have very good EM buffing capabilities if you win the 1 in 3 gamble and get the EM buff too. This weapon is extremely effective after refinements. Her signature weapon isn't really needed, but is also a nice pickup too if you really love Nahida, because it gives more EM than sack frags and grants herself and her allies different bonuses. It's a nice pickup, like how she can literally pick up and harvest materials for you if you snap a photo of them or read the minds of some NPCs. Nahida has great team synergy and is a great gateway to achieving the maximum output from Dendro as an element as a whole. I would give examples to what teammates you would want to run her with, but she is the popular kid, I guess, as every single Dendro team wants her on the team. Unless you only have one Dendro slot and you really want a healer, this is where Baizo or Yao Yao may take her spot, but more often than not, you're going to be using Nahida. Finally, let's get on to Nahida's constellations. Her C1 adds an extra level to the bonuses, which means even if you have no pyros or whatever element in your party, you will still get the base level of this bonus, which is pretty crazy. And if you have only one of each element in the party, then you will get the bonus of having 2 of each, which is lovely for her own damage and of course her supporting capabilities. And then her C2 will decrease the defense when doing aggravate or spread reactions, and then also make that bloom reactions can crit, which is just insane. I highly do recommend her C2 if you want to invest into Nahida vertically. However, I wouldn't really go further than there. The C4 is nice, and then of course if you're a whale and really love her, go on, get that C6. So how good is Nahida? Well, with a kit so seamless, it's very hard to say Nahida is bad, and I do highly recommend you to pull for her. In my eyes, she is like a top 3 character, as I said earlier, simply because of how seamless her kit is, and simply because how easy and how quick it is to get a Hyper Bloom team running, and the damage output from that, as we all know, is very good. However, do not let the meta wave of Dendro overbear your decisions, because as we know, everybody's talking about Dendro right now. It's the newest element and everyone's going crazy with it. Of course, Nahida is a great character, but you literally don't have to run Dendro to be able to clear the hardest content in the game right now. So if you do find that Nahida isn't really to your liking and not really your playstyle suit, then don't go out of your way to pull her if she isn't the one for you, and don't feel forced to play Dendro as well just because everybody else is running it. But if you do want to play Dendro, then she is definitely going to give you the best experience to try out the newer element. Next week I'll release a video if Dendro is overrated, so make sure you're there for that one if you're interested. Go and get yourself a Nahida. You know you won't regret it. She is one of the characters which are sort of a must pull to reach your peak of certain aspects and team comps in Genshins, and every character who is focused on a Dendro related playstyle will want to have a Nahida on the team. With that being said, I'm gonna have to end the video here and go play with my Nahida. Hopefully I see a few of you running around with yours too in the great land of Tevat. How about you check out some of my other videos whilst you're at it, and I'll see you all in a bit.